Nathanson joins us, ABC News correspondent. Last week, first of all, Jason, are you there?
I'm here.
Good to have you. Last week, Solo, the Star Wars movie, came out. I guess it didn't do so well at the box office. What happened?
No, it didn't. About $103 million for that 4-day weekend, which is very, very low for a Star Wars movie. If you're looking at just the 3-day weekend, it was something like $83 million. So it was a big disappointment in terms of the fans turning out. They didn't turn out in droves. The reviews were so-so. The audience score, they liked it. It was an A- cinema score. That's the exit polling. So they seemed to like it, but the fans just couldn't get out there and drive this thing. You know, there were so many stories before this came out of problems on set, and I think that kind of dissuaded some people from wanting to go. But we'll see if this weekend things can pick back up. Now, Box Office Mojo, which is one of the most respected sites when it comes to movie numbers, they're predicting maybe a $30 million weekend, which would just be terrible. That would be a 64% drop from last weekend, which would be a huge drop. So, you know, not looking good in the long run for this movie.
Anything else this weekend we should pay attention to?
There are 3 movies out this weekend. None are going to really challenge Star Wars for the top spot. You have Adrift, starring Shailene Woodley. It's the true story of a woman and her fiancé who gets stuck in a hurricane on a boat, and she's got to save them. That's going to do maybe $10 to $13 million. That's going to be the best of the new bunch. We have a new movie from Jackass star Johnny Knoxville called Action Point, which is him, you know, basically just getting beat up for a whole movie. There's a plot to this one. It's not like the Jackass movies where they just go around and do crazy stunts.
There's a plot?
He's the owner of a amusement park, and he has to save the amusement park. It's a very dangerous amusement park, so that's where the stunts come in. So it's him getting beat up for a long time, but there's a little bit of plot, so you might like that. It's rated R, and it's not going to make a whole lot of money either. We're looking at less than $10 million. And then there is a kind of sci-fi action movie called Upgrade about a guy who gets mugged, and he's left paralyzed, and his wife is dead, and then he gets an implant which enhances his body, allows him to walk again, and gives him superhuman strength, which he then uses to seek revenge on his attackers. And we're looking at like $3 to $5 million for that one.
All right. Boy, it's been a crazy weekend for inappropriate tweets and jokes on television that have gone too far. You got Samantha Bee now, and you got Roseanne Barr. How is Hollywood responding to all this?
It's really been a crazy week when it comes to stuff like that. We have President Trump weighing in today on the Samantha Bee stuff again, blasting her, asking why aren't they firing no talent Samantha Bee for her horrible language and her low rating show? Total double standard, but that's okay. We are winning, and we'll be doing so for a long time to come. But a lot of people questioning about that double standard. Why Roseanne loses her show so quickly for her tweet, where Samantha Bee, for a scripted word, is still, she has her job. She apologized. TBS seems to be sticking by her, but she did lose a couple advertisers. State Farm and Auto Trader pulled out of the show. So if that continues, that might affect TBS's decision to keep her on the air.
The faux outrage on both sides is really getting staggering, right? You're offended when Kathy Griffin does something offensive, but when Donald Trump makes fun of a reporter's handicap, that's okay, right? I mean, this faux outrage is getting ridiculous.
People want to be offended, and the Samantha Bee thing couldn't have come at a worse time, at least, because everybody on the right was searching for some kind of equivalency when it comes to people saying things on the left and not getting any consequences. And here comes Samantha Bee and hands them this thing, and they choose to be outraged over it. I don't know if it's equivalent to the Roseanne thing. A lot of people say it is, but there's a lot of it. I don't know. It seems like the fringe groups on both sides are the ones who are upset. I don't know if the mainstream people in the middle are the ones who are upset, but we're listening these days to a lot of the Twitter chatter, and that seems to be driving these stories.
And I mean, not to say that either one is appropriate in the public domain, but
right.
It seems like, and this is more of a political comment than a Hollywood segment, but ABC can handle Roseanne any way they want. TBS can handle Samantha Bee any way they want. That's their choice.
At the end of the day, it comes down to whether or not they feel that this is going to tarnish their brand and whether advertisers are going to support it and they're going to lose money. For ABC, they felt that a major boycott was coming, and they headed that off at the pass. They made that decision very quick, and it's still now a couple of days out. It astonishes me how quickly they made that decision to dump their highest-rated show. It really is crazy. And then you look at Roseanne's tweets. Yesterday, she was, again, very contrite and apologetic and talking about how, she wants to make things better for the world, and she's really, really sorry. And then she goes off again and tweets about how it was Ambien and she was under the influence, and she didn't know Valerie Jarrett was black, and so she seems to be talking out of both sides of her mouth. So it's hard to determine what to really believe when it comes to her. Samantha Bee, on the other hand, she made her apology, and that's it. And then she's stayed off Twitter, and she's not on the air for another week or so. So that might die down before it gets worse.
Yeah, that's a great point. It is not exactly apples to apples. Jason Nathanson, you're always welcome here. Have a good weekend. Thanks for checking in.
You too. Take care.
You got it.